So hello and welcome to Rebel City Podcast. Just before we get into it, I just want to give a shout out to the ladies at On The Ball. So we had Erin Slavin on the podcast about 6 months ago, and if you've no listened or watched the episode, be sure to go and have a shout. But the girls are doing amazing, and that's them just hit their 1 year anniversary, so I just wanted to say well done.
Yep.
Give them a shout out, and just hopefully they keep plugging away. It's a massively important issue, I feel. But this week's guest is, get your logo on the screen, mate. It's Chris McQueer. How's it going, mate?
Aye, good, mate. Cheers for having us on, boys.
Tom, nice to see you.
Aye, nice to meet you, mate. East End boy, same as ourselves. Unfortunately, I don't stay there anymore, thankfully.
Too good for it now.
Aye, that's it. Started a podcast and moved up the West End and grew a beard.
That's the best, isn't
Absolute wanker.
Life's me in Springburn.
Aye, so what? I feel like the East End gets this bad reputation until you actually visit the north side of Glasgow and you realise that it's not too bad.
Aye.
It used to be fucking horrible, but
the days of no mean city are long gone, I think.
aye. So what kind of East End did you grow up in, mate?
I grew up in Garthamlock originally, and then moved down into Springboig when I was a wee bit older. But I loved it. Like I was talking about this a wee while ago. I always had a bad reputation, but at no point did I ever feel unsafe when I was a wee guy. It just felt like pure community spirit.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like in the flats, everybody was just looking out for each other. Everybody knew each other. It was magic, so it was. And,
Was it Olga Farmlock that you stayed in before they ploughed it away?
Aye, man, aye. So I stayed in the flats in Gartlock Road, and then now I'm down in Springboig. So
Springboig's it's a nicer area, I suppose.
mate, I quite like it, man.
It's one of the bits, like, if you walk through the East End now, like I've said this a couple of times, I think, on the podcast, that get back a few months now, but my girlfriend who's grew up in Baillieston, but she's 10 years younger, so she never really experienced the tenements the way I get the tail end of the tenements. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can remember walking through the low end of Carntine and being like, oof, man, this is fucking junkies hanging about the tenements and that. And I also used to do like kebab shop and Chinese deliveries with my brother-in-law, and they would be like, it was Ricchese and low end Ricchese, and that was all still there. So a couple of like dodgy experiences, but we walked for the Loudon. She does ballet. She's a ballet teacher. We walked for the Loudon, where there's a wee sort of dance school in the industrial estate, all the way up to the sort of Tapagart Craig Road at the border of Cranhill, and we did not see a soul. And it was 9 o'clock on a Friday night, and I could not believe it, because I was saying to her, there might be like every shop there'll be a group of wains. Like you see us, it's like a sort of time warp, and then you just walk through sort of private housing estates now, and like sort of Bellway homes and prefabs, and you're just walking through going, this is all changed, man.
It's like The Sims or something, man. It's like the same house, just fucking copy and pasted like there and there again, man. Just
like America gentrification, it's called, isn't it?
I found myself the other night there coming up the road with the missus, and we drove by a group of lads on bikes, and I was it pure looked weird. But then, as you say, back when I was the same age, going on your bike, taking my football, and then going and finding a group of boys to play against somewhere was totally normal. But to see like 4 lads just out on bikes, I was a bit like, it's a bit of a weird one, that, isn't it? Like Friday night, they're out on bikes.
It's so strange now. It's like unrecognisable, but I think for the better. Definitely for the better. I mean, like we're saying, it's no quite. I mean, as the city centre pushes further east through Denniston, I think it's just getting sort of Merchant City East. They're rebranding. So I moved. What school was it you went to?
I went to East Bank Academy. I went to.
Was it a rough school when you were there? Because
it could be. Had its days, had its wild days. It was quite. I mean, it was funny at the time. Know what I mean?
Did you enjoy school?
Look at mate. No, I left as soon as I could. So I quite liked English when I was at school. Obviously, I've ended up being a writer, but like, I wasn't really like encouraged to write when I was at school. Do you know what I mean? And then, so I always think, maybe if I had been encouraged to write when I was at school, I would have stayed on. You know what I mean, I would have went to uni and that maybe. But the one thing I liked at school, the one thing I felt I was good at, I wasn't really encouraged to do. So I just thought, well, fuck it, I'll just leave as soon as I can.
Critically,
you're trained to write critically. You're trained to write about personal reflective essays. Write about your deed Doug, write about your deed Granny, and all this. I would have shit. I just want to write funny stories, and I can't. So fuck yous, I'm off.
This was one of the things I found. I had a like massively sort of failed attempt to like write a book one time. When I was back in my sort of uni years, and that was one of the big struggles for me. Was like I an idea of what I wanted to say and how I wanted to say it, but like how I translated that into any sort of creative process was just completely missing, and I just found myself banging my head up against the wall because I'd never been taught it. You know what I mean?
That's true, man.
I think, like, when I think back to even just the ideas, because we were in like a sort of our own sort of like creative bubble, weren't we, at one point in time? We were about 21, so Matt was like, I want to be a writer, I was wanting to be a musician, so we were all sort of encouraging each other. And when you're doing it, when you're younger, it was almost like it's felt ridiculous. But see, when I look back on it now, especially, like, I can remember one idea that Matt had that was about the shades of beige. Right. But it was like it was at that time, sort of 2002, 2003 through to 2007, where everything started to turn and become really generic. We were starting to lose that sort of like, the Arctic Monkeys had just come out, and it was almost like the end of that sort of like grassroots, the first of the internet sort of bands to come up, and we have kind of lost that in the mainstream, and I think it was really sort of forward thinking, but of course I was part of that creative hub. Looking back nostalgically, going, we were fucking excellent.
Probably one of the ones, if you look back on pictures of yourself at 18, 19, 20, you'd be like, oh, Jesus Christ, that's kind of how I feel about where I ended up writing. I mean, like,
so you left school straight away?
Left school straight away. I was 16 and started working full time in Subway as a sandwich artist.
I loved that time. I had a mate who was also a sandwich artist.
I was any opportunity to tell people I was a fucking sandwich artist.
Man. You love it. Whereabouts were you?
Up at the fort. No, up at the fort, man. I told my mum my title is sandwich artist, and she went, no, it'd be better, peacemaker. Peacemaker. That's fucking good, man. I'm having that.
Surely there's a cafe out there somewhere with that name above it. You know what I mean?
I think that's quite a common thing as well, man, because I went straight from school to McDonald's.
Aye.
Even though I stayed on and went through the sort of educational sort of fucking machine and ended up at uni doing something that I never really had much interest in, but I went straight from school to McDonald's because I don't know if it's something to do with the fact that my parents told me, you're not getting any more money. You need to go and make your fucking money. Like, I can't afford to sub you. Like, you need to go and do this. And as soon as I get that wee bit of taste, when I started McDonald's, it was £2.33 an hour. Right. I think my first wage was like fucking 40 quid. But even that 40 quid, at the time I'd have probably been getting a tenner pocket money. Like 15, 16. So as soon as fucking right. Can remember swaggering about tuna Saturday afternoon with 40 quid. Like, yes, man. Can afford to get 10 McDonald's here, you know what I mean? Even though I was getting my own staff discount. But I think that's quite a common thing for like working class kids to like go into work straight away. But
that's what I felt like. I felt like when I left school, all my pals stayed on. Well, I was out working. And they all wanted to they still wanted to hang about the streets playing football, and I'm like, I've got money, man. I want to go out, man. So I was like, getting out the town with like the older people from my work, like fucking trying to get a hold of somebody's ID and all that. Getting out thinking I was the fucking big man, like drinking 2 pints and I was on Mars, like having to go and be sick and all that.
Do you think that sort of way of straight in is almost like a indoctrinating you into that sort of working life? It sort of like dangles something in front of you, like that freedom, and you go, oh, I want that, but ultimately you're taking that first step into a job that is bullshit. Do you know what I mean? Isn't he really going to serve you that much?
I know, that's it, mate.
Did you get that feeling, like, that you were doing sort of like rubbish work? Did it?
A wee bit, because I felt like, although I was the one with my pals that was out working and making money, like, wasn't a lot of money obviously, but like they were still at school, but they were still kind of looking down their noses at me. Do you know what I mean? Like, they were like, we're staying on to 6 years, we're going to go to uni, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
So they're like, right, well, you've got the money now, but we're going to have the money later. And they were kind of taking the piss out of me a wee bit. Right. And still kind of looking down on me. And that kind of made me feel quite shite. So it did. And then I started working in like a sports rope. And then I was just there until fucking last year. Like, so I was like 10 years, like, I don't know, man.
Which shop was it?
DW Sports, mate.
Wasn't even
used to be JJB. I know, mate.
Wasn't he JD?
I know, mate.
Upmarket fucking sports shop. Could have been worse. It could have been sports and leisure there on Old Shettleston Road or whatever that place was.
That one in the Forge. Upstairs in the Forge.
Sells
the mid football.
I used to love it in there.
It's class, man.
£5 football taps.
Aye, just some mad obscure third kit.
Aye, 2 seasons ago or whatever, man. I always remember getting the Fiorentina struck with the Nintendo on the front of it, and I loved it because it had Nintendo on the front of it.
Mine was Bayern Munich. I got a Bayern Munich.
The Opel.
Mehmet shawl on the back.
Was it the Opel shot? Adidas and Opel.
I think so.
I look back and remember a lot of football taps based on sponsor. But what era was that? Like, what sponsor was that? C.R. Smith. But it just shows you how deep like commercial or the sponsorship of a football team goes.
It fucking imprints itself into your mind, doesn't it?
That's it. You can actually like sort of go back in time in your memory to who was sponsoring your football team at the time. Like,
I know, man.
Wonder who's the worst sponsor of a football team of all time.
Jesus Christ.
I quite like Morton when they had millions. They still got millions on it, I think they have. Like the
But
Sweeties.
The Sweeties? Is that used to
Aye.
sponsor? They used to have Green Up Morton. Matchmaker, millions. The Matchmaker made their tap and millions. Was
I'm
the
pretty
sponsor.
sure I seen somebody with, it was maybe a sleeve one, but it was like Visit Somalia or something like that. So it was like one of the English Premier League teams. And it was like pure.
Everton have got Angry Birds.
That's right, aye.
Everton have got an Angry Birds. Like, holding your strip, just signed your multi-million pound contract with Everton. You're having to walk about with a t-shirt that's got fucking Angry Birds on it. But I get to fuck. What was your growing up like? What was your family dynamic like?
Yeah, it was me and my mum for a while, and then my stepdad, and then my wee brother came along, and then man. But it was me and my mum for most of my life, so it was, which was good. I think being
She a big influence on you?
big time, man. It's like her sense of humour that's kind of filtered into my books and that, and it's her that's kind of made me a bit fried in the head. I think she's just after he'd or not. So yeah, that's been good, mate.
Has she shaped anything in regards to sort of your ideals of like masculinity or anything like that?
A wee bit, I think, because I was raised by women basically. So it was my mum and my granny and my aunties that raised me. So it was always like hearing them talk about like guys in the scheme, or the kind of like there's a lot of fucking like bad cunts in Garthamel, and hearing the way my mum and that would talk about them, I always thought I don't want people to be talking about me like that when I'm older. Do you know what I mean? So that kind of forced me to go down a kind of different path. Maybe if I'd had a pure hard da, you know what I mean? Like fucking own my case all the time. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I would have turned out different. I don't know, man. But it's been good, man. So she's probably like my biggest influence, my mum. Definitely, man.
I think like especially in this day and age, we hear a lot about sort of toxic masculinity, and a lot of, I hate to say it, but a lot of these sort of, I hate you just broad stroking feminists, but you kind of want to take them back to an old school 80s and 90s scheme and actually show them what toxic masculinity actually looks like, because like some of the examples that you get where people, it's like toxic masculinity.
People talking shit online.
Exactly. It's almost like, because you don't like that and he's a guy, then that's toxic masculinity. Whereas if you can go back and, like you're saying, hear these stories or see these people where you're just like, holy shit, man, like, wonder what happened to that guy when he was wee. Because that's essentially where it comes from. But
true,
I find that for myself, I think me and Matt are different in this respect. Like, my ideals are, like you were saying there, having a hard day. I had that sort of browbeaten, like, and it sent me down the same path as you, though, if you know what I mean, like to sort
kind
of
rebelling against
that, because I didn't really want to be part of that. Do you know what I mean? Like I caught the sort of tail end of what would probably be known as sort of gang culture, the very tail end of it. Do you know what I mean? Where people were going and actually fighting in sort of gangs. We're seeing a wee bit of that sort of come back now, actually, which is. But it's almost like
I think
a
I went
dance.
to one gang fight and was pure. No. I stood at the back with a 3-litre bottle of White Lightning and was pure. Nah, this isn't for me, I'm way up the road.
Do you have any experiences yourself?
No, mate, I wasn't in gang fighting. I wasn't. I was just a fucking like anonymous at school. I didn't want any cunt to know me. See, if I got through the day without anybody talking to me, I was like, that's fucking success, man.
I think that's
something
just
I'm
under the radar, man.
If I can get through a full day without anybody speaking to me now, I'm like, fucking won. I mean, like,
never mind when you're a teenager and stuff. Do you think that's why you didn't enjoy school? Do you think if you could have
Could have been, aye. 'Cause I had like a group of mates and we all had a laugh in that. I just didn't, I don't know, didn't want to be noticed. I didn't want to be slagged. I didn't want to be centre of attention. I just wanted to be fucking in and out. Do my work and get home. Just get back to playing football manager or something, or sitting writing a stupid
How do
story
you
or
think
something.
you would cope now? Think about like the way that it is now at school, where if you fucking
weird, man,
if you I mean, the amount of times that I did something fucking stupid at school, I mean, even down to slipping and falling your arse on the ice.
Somebody could video it, man.
That's true.
Hings
Ridicule.
I know, man.
Ridicule for weeks. You think about people that are trying to maybe be in the same sort of space that you were in, and I think I sort of sat in that space. I had a bit of bravado that went behind with trying to be a wee bit of a hard man, but that I wasn't at all, but try to tell people that I was a hard man just so that they would leave me alone, like that kind of thing. But I sort of sat in that space where I was kind of like, if I can just get through this with sort of minimal friction, then I'll be happy. I'll be delighted with that. But see, try to navigate that nowadays must be a fucking nightmare. Mate.
I knew a guy who, in his last year at school, he was getting stick off of one of the first years. They managed to grab him in the common room and like gaffer tape up his arms and legs and leave him at the top of a flight of stairs just to kind of like mess with him. And like they get told off. But I'm like, see now, as you say, with people with camera phones and all that stuff that follows about it. Somebody tried that today, is just what was brushed off as a joke and told, right, wrap it, that's bullshit. Would now be like, oh no, like kidnapped in school and hogtied and like, we all got him caught, you know what I mean?
I knew a guy that had a wank on the CB. Remember people used to key their mic? Do you remember the CB? Vaguely remember the Citizen Band Radio. It was like, I think it died with like MSN Messenger. That came along, everybody just patched the CB. Although I was up with my mates the other week and we whacked it on, there's still a couple of people sitting talking on the CB. But
that's quite nice, man.
It wasn't at all. It was like, no, see these pricks, man, fuck it. It was just like, right, so it's just junkies that are left on the CB and truckers. But this guy, in a Sunday night, there used to be like this sort of popular thing. People would just put elastic band on their mic and play tunes. So it was like DJing almost, like illegal radio. And this guy, I won't name him because I've got him on Facebook just in case he listens. But he there's a point to this as well. He forgot that it was gone and then decided to stick on a porno and crack one out. And you could everybody between Carntine, Cranhill, Ridgely that was on the CB was on a Sunday night. Was on a Sunday night. That was like
for tunes.
And this guy like cracked one out. So me and my mate were sitting the other week. We were just talking about the CB. We went on YouTube. We were listening to some like classic CB, whatever, to let again my girlfriend hear it, and she was like, "I don't actually believe that this fucking thing existed." But he phoned this guy because he was trying to get. He was like, "I'm going to get my CB out." So he went into his cupboard, get his aerial, get his CB out, but he discovered that his power pack wasn't working. So he phoned this guy who was a notorious CB on, and went, "How do I?" Because there was a way you could do it through the mains, which is not fucking safe. Like cutting a wire, plugging it into the mains and wiring it up to a CD. That's basically what he did. But when he phoned him, another one of my mates was like, ask him if he remembers having a wank on the CB. Now, that happened 20 years ago, and we still remember it. And that happened probably between 40 to 50 people listen to that. Do you know what I mean? Imagine if you did that now, like accidentally had a wank on YouTube, cracked one out, you probably end up fucking famous. Kim Kardashian, that's what she
Dancing with the Stars.
Dancing with the Stars. So like I'd read a wee bit. I don't know what interview I read, one that was in the Guardian, and I read a couple there. It sort of, you'd said that you had sort of felt anxious as a teen, which was something that you were talking about there, sort of like just try to get through. Did you have any sort of coping mechanisms that you tried to use to sort of get through it?
Just get a fucking shut myself away, mate. Just staying in.
Escapism?
Aye, man, that's it, man. Sitting, fucking playing Football Manager, that was my escape, man. That was it.
Like computer games?
Just Football Manager, mate. I was just fucking proper, like Chapman, Football Manager, obsessive. Like, thumb myself into that. And then I found when I left school, like getting away from that environment and that, like, and being around a bit older people, I found, I don't know, I enjoyed it a lot more. I enjoyed that company and just found it better. I don't know, school just obviously just wasn't for me for whatever reason. But oh well.
Just maybe just no found your clique or whatever.
Maybe that's it, man. Maybe I was too fucking antisocial. Maybe I could have been more social, and maybe I would have found a wee group of people the same as me. I don't know, man.
Aye. Part of what I liked about what you're doing is you're trying to sort of shine a light on the lighter side to the East End, which I experienced in abundance. I think more than what I experienced the harsh side. The harsh side's what sticks in your memory. Like you remember that more than you remember. But
you remember people's reactions to telling them that you're from the East End, and they go. Even like now,
up in the country as well, mate. You go to London and you meet people from London and they go, "Where you from?" Glasgow, and even saying the words Easterhouse or Shettleston,
they know it.
There'll be people out there that will be like, "What? You stay in Easterhouse? Whoa!" Or Easterhouse, and you're like, and you're sort of thinking to yourself, I used to go one or two ways, but I used to either downplay it and go, it's actually not that bad, which is the truth, or I would go into
ham
it
it up.
and be like pure, see when I was younger, man, oh mate, I nearly get slashed about 90 times and blah blah blah, which was it's sort of half truths, isn't it? It's like, but I quite like that you're showing the sort of humorous side, like, even though in the stories there is a sort of, there's a lot of truth in there, and you're reading and you're thinking, fucking hell, man, I remember a guy that's like that. It is sort of, obviously, it's comedy, which I think a lot of it is. Even the gang fighting was comical. If you were to take a wee step back and say, right, it's got a group of 10 guys at that side of the park and another group of 10 guys, what we've got to do is they'll run up and then run back. And then it is almost like Benny Hill.
Aye. I've got the mental image of like a Monty Python sketch where they're waving fists at each other and running back and forth.
So is that your lasting sort of memory of East End? Even though you're still there, but is that like your sort of childhood? Is just the sort of like
what I remember is all the kind of surreal stories that all the things that happened around about me, all the mad, just all the mad characters, and just remember thinking like this is a weird place, like, and then seeing how it was represented on the telly and that, and like, oh, it's all poverty, it's all this, it's all grim, it's all bleak. I'm like, but it's funny as fuck. Like, there's so many characters here. It's fucking amazing, man. Like, it's such a colourful place. There's so much happening all the time. There's such a buzz about the place. Like, that's what I wanted to show, like that side of it. You know what I mean? And
I think the short story format as well, like, it captures a lot of what you'll find in, you know, any largely sort of working class kind of you know, environment, is that like oral tradition, like the stories told down the pub, the taxi driver on the way to work, the, you know, the conversation you overheard on the bus, etc. And I think that's a great format for, you know, sort of platforming those types of stories.
That's what I wanted to do with my stories. Almost when I sat down to write, it felt natural to just tell loads of wee different stories in the way you would tell them, like down the pub. You know what I mean? As if almost I'm relaying a real story that I've heard, even though a lot of them just totally made up, totally nonsense. But like, the short story works for it.
And there's shades of, I'm sure, like stuff that you have heard in there, just without naming names.
Like,
I always used to think that some of the best stories I'd ever heard were told in like old man's pubs. Like going one of my mates for school, his mum owns the Alley Bar in Duke Street, and we a couple of situations in there. Big man had like a Northern Soul t-shirt in. We went in one sat Christmas Day we went in because obviously he's my mate. He's like, "Come down."
I lived in a flat above it at the time in Duke Street.
And this woman, we were standing outside having a fag, and this woman just seen the green of the Northern Soul t-shirt and was like, fucking actually physically opened his shirt to see what it was, to make sure it wasn't a Celtic tap. And I think we made the decision to drink up and get the fuck out of there.
The season of goodwill towards men.
One of the things, like one of the stories that always stuck with me, that my dad told me was, my dad grew up in Duke Street, so but he was born in the Calton, so he was a Catholic, and he drank. He wasn't a bigot. My dad took pride in the fact that he was not a bigot. Celtic fan. Was at the European Cup final, home and away during the 60s and 70s before they had kids, and then it was like I had to get up. But he drank with this guy in the Bristol bar, obviously a famous Rangers pub, but my dad didn't give a fuck. He knew the guy that owned it. He stayed in Duke Street. He drank there. He didn't care.
Fair enough.
And he drank with this guy, and he said he knew the guy for nearly 30 years. And a guy walked, so he sat and drank with this old boy, and a guy walked in and went, "What you doing in here, you Fenian bastard?" And ha ha ha. He turned round, and the old boy downed his pint, put his pint down, walked away, never spoke to my dad ever again.
Fuck's sake.
Is he funny? He's a Catholic.
Pals for 30 years.
No, really, like it wasn't that pals. They hadn't been round the house.
They knew each other for the
They
pub.
knew each other, and when they were in the pub, they sat with each other. It was like that kind of sort of friendship that they had. But 30 years, my dad knew this guy, and then as soon as he found out he was a Catholic, away he went.
It's mental, man.
But you're a Celtic fan, aren't you?
I'm a Celtic fan,
Not that it matters, are you a Catholic?
No.
No, I was going to say,
don't come for a religious family at all. Like, my granny and granda, like, I always said when I was a wee guy, like, if I'm not a Catholic, I must be a Protestant then. No, I'm not anything. Like,
just
we're no, like, baptised.
The childish terms that it's explained to you when you're for Glasgow.
But there's still people that think in the terms, but
I know, man.
That's what's worrying about that fucking thing.
Granny and granda try to drum it into, like, you're not a Catholic, you're not a Protestant, you're not anything. Just, that's cool, that's fine, that's you. And then my mum tried to explain that to me, and I'm like, I'm not a Catholic, I must be a Protestant then, so how can I be a Celtic fan? Like, being pure confused about my identity as a wee guy, having a crisis.
I remember a guy that hung about with Matt, a guy called Mark Kelly was like that. I think I met him primary 6, and I could not get it through my head. His dad was a Rangers fan. he was a Celtic fan and he was a Protestant. I was just like, that doesn't exist. That doesn't exist in this world. It's like 1989, 1990, and I'm sitting there going, mate, what are you? Almost, do you know what I mean? Like, I just couldn't get my head around it. Do you think that that's had any sort of impact on you? Because obviously you've came for like, well, why did you pick Celtic?
Just my ma and my auntie both worked at Celtic Park, so they did. So I was always doing it at Celtic Park, like with my granddad going down to pick them up. So I would be kind of hanging about the stadium waiting on my man and that, and then I would kind of like see the players and all that. So just because of that, you just kind of become a Celtic fan. You start getting a wee bit older, you start thinking, oh, football is actually class, and then you get into it, and then aye man. So just
which your era? What was that? Who was the?
That would have been. It was like I kind of go into football, like kind of like once we kind of stopped the 10, and then I kind of fell away for it a wee bit, and then the UEFA Cup run 2003. That was when. So I was like, I would have been like 11 or 12 or something, like prime wee guy into football age, where you just become obsessive, and then obviously Celtic.
And you actually had a good Celtic team to support.
Aye. So I think that was it. That was when
at that sort of age,
kicked off.
99, 10, 11, 93, 94. So I was sitting watching fucking Brian McLaughlin and Rudy Vata. Unfortunately,
mine was stopping the 10. With Tommy and that.
I was lucky enough. I got to play in like a charity football game, like a charity old firm game. Rudy Vata was one of the players.
Right.
And he fucking hated me. He hated me.
Really?
I'm not the best, right? I try my best, right? And I was bombing up and down the wing. I was fucking getting it my all, man. And I get caught offside. And Rudy Vata's like, you fucking young boy, what are you doing? Screaming at me. I'm like, fucking
chill the fuck out.
Rudy Vata is screaming at me in a charity game. How have I got in this position?
He's just seen the blue jerseys, had a pure flashback.
Aye, man.
You know what I mean? What?
And then the Rangers team had a corner. And he's like, stick with your man, like screaming at me. I'm like, alright mate, I will fucking calm down, it's a charity game. And then obviously I didn't stick with my man. Cunt scored. That was him, man. He was in my face, man. They pushed me. I was like, fucking hell, man. I'm like, Rudy, mate, chill out. I'm pure laughing at it, thinking he was carrying on. And then Mark Wilson's like, just fucking stay away from him, man. Stay away from him. And I'm like, that's just surreal, man. Like,
wasn't even that good a football player himself. I'd have been like, mate, fuck off. I'm going to go and look through YouTube and just look for your worst moments and just keep posting it on the fucking Twitter feed.
Like, my granda came to watch that game. And obviously Rudy Vata's doing that to me, like right at like the touchline. And my granddad's fucking ready to come out and take him, man.
Oh, really?
It's amazing,
so
man.
My experience of that playing football when I was young is my dad would have been the one in my fucking face. So he'd have been like shaking Rudy Vata's horn like that. Cheers, man.
Aye, he was shy.
Aye, totally, man, totally. I can remember playing for my school. And, I'd asked my dad not to come to play watch me play football because he'd watched me play for some team, can't remember, Greenfield Star or something, and he'd absolutely ripped me. So I was like, I tell him, look, I'm got a game for the school. It's a friendly. They were trying to like see if anybody was any good. I was like, gonna no come. About 10 minutes in, looked there and he's standing there shaking his head as a fucking bastard. 13-year-old, just pure. I think about 10 minutes later I get subbed off. I was like, amazing, man. Hated that shit. Absolutely fucking hated that shit. So, crime scene investigation, that must have been a. There's no CSI. Fucking crime scene cleaning. That must have been an interesting job.
That was brilliant, mate. That was the best job I ever had. I started doing that. I was 22, and I just moved into a flat with my ex-bud, and I was still working in the sports rope, and we were kind of like struggle. We were like getting by, we were like paying the rent and all that, but we didn't have any money for anything else. We were like, it was like we're fucking skinning myself for this flat here, and we're both working full time with the day. And then my granda had just got a job working as like a crime scene cleaner, and he's like, well, I can get you in, man. I can get you a couple of wee shifts, like before your work, after your work, get the weekends and that. I was like, fucking aye, man, like, that sounds brilliant, man. So I done that. I got in doing that. It was amazing, man. It was the best job I've ever done. Like, and then I started picking up my rules doing that, and then I started doing less hours in the sports rope. I was like, right, I'm going to get this full time, and then the company just like folded, and then that was it. Like me and my granda, like just that was it, man. I was gutted. So I was honestly the best job I've ever had. Like
you must have seen some sites doing that shit.
Proper sites, mate. Aye. I mean, it was disgusting. It was vile. It was brilliant. Like you just after like you go in, like after the first time you've like smelt.
Yeah.
Fucking a dead body in that. Like, after that, you can handle anything, man. Like, anything.
How much worse is it going to get, really?
It can't get any worse, man. So, anything at all, man. So, we would do that. We would, like, clean up. Not like the body would be away, but we still get that fucking smell of, like, death, man. Lingering in the room, man. It was horrible. So, we'd go in after that and just clean up. You know what I mean? So, a lot of the time, it'd be like an old person.
Yeah.
Right. In a flat. They've been there for, like, a week until the neighbours have phoned, complained about the smell, you know what I mean? There's one we done. how graphic can I get here? Can
Oh,
I
go
aye,
for
go
it,
for it. Aye.
Be on
One
it.
we done where this guy had like died on the toilet pan, and it was
Fucking
like
Elvis
weeks.
style, man.
Aye, mate, aye. It was like weeks until I was found. So we get told to go in, and the house was bogging anyway. So it was like flies and maggots everywhere, and then in the toilet was just it was horrible, mate. But his body had been taken away, but there was still like skin and all that left attached to the pan. It just like fused, man. So we get told like just go in and like clean the toilet. So it was me and my mom. My mom got a job doing it as well. So me and my mom cleaning this fucking manky toilet. And we had the thing absolutely spotless, man. And then the woman for the council came in and she was like, oh, he's dying to make it like that clean. And we were like, what do you mean? She's like, it's getting ripped out. The toilet's getting ripped out. You only had to clean it so that the guys could come in and rip it out and be like, what do you know tell us that for? You know what I mean? We could have ate your dinner after we were finished with it, man. You know what I mean?
Sake.
But, oh well.
Is that the best sort of, like, is that the worst one you've walked into?
That's the worst one I've walked into, aye. There's a lot of times we get, wasn't it just crime scenes, it was like extreme cleaning was like the company's thing. So it was like, we'd get hired by like social work to go in and like help out somebody who's like a holder.
Yeah.
So go in, the house just full, and we're told just bin everything, just get it all out, man.
Aye.
Any hidden treasures?
No,
No,
man.
see something like
No,
that.
man.
I'm fucking doing that. Sorry if I take that.
Oh man, it's just always shite. There was a woman who was like, she's like addicted to like buying stuff off QVC, and her living room was just like full of handbags, like not even opened. So just like
I had an auntie that was
aye.
like that. Right? She was agoraphobic, and that is exactly what she ended up as, addicted to QVC. And she had a spare room. She had a 3-bed house, and it was her by herself. Obviously, like a family home. Everybody's like moved on. She had this spare room off the living room at the back of the living room, and see when you go in, it was your birthday.
Aye, pick
You
something.
could pure tell what my mum would be like that, and she'd be like, "Oh, it's your birthday this week, isn't it? Aye, just go and have a wee look through the room." And she had everything in there. I mean, you would go in and you'd be like, "Some bed clothes in there." I might just take. I was thinking about, I need some bed clothes, I need some towels. Can I take your towels? Crack in.
A foot spa, I'll have that.
Exactly. That, and just the weirdest shit. Like,
Amazing.
she was a big woman, and she would have like size 10 dresses.
Right.
I'd be like, why have you bought that? She'd say, like, just in case somebody wants it. I just thought, I'll just get that. She ended up in like fucking 100k worth of credit card debt.
Wow.
I had to get cleared.
Jesus,
So
man.
I
laughing, man, but fucking hell,
I know,
that's
but these
mental.
types of situations,
Aye.
man, it just shows you if you're
know.
fucking bored.
The
Boredom.
damage you can do.
Aye, to yourself.
Jesus,
Not
man,
only
I know.
just like in your environment, because I think
Aye.
your environment's got a lot to do with your mindset, but just your fucking finances and your future. Do you know what I mean?
QVC. That's a weird one. As addictions go, I'm now anxious about falling foul of QVC
Aye, man.
as well as everything else.
I'll bet you QVC. I bet you they'll. I'm sure we'll be able to go and read about it. But I bet you like the East End of Glasgow's got a lot to do with QVC and like the shopping channel.
It's like your 21st century version of the Provy check.
Aye, too, right, man. Remember the Provy woman?
Heidenfeld, man.
She did a story about the Provy
know.
woman. Mate. I had a Provy woman that she.
Nobody's ever in, man. She's got to collect money, man. Nobody's ever in. Mental.
My mum was our best customer, because what my mum used to do was she would go around and collect, because my mum was a home help, so she used to go around and collect everybody's Provy money,
Right.
and then the Provy
That's
woman would come to her house, but she had been mugged that many times that she was scared
Yeah, I
to
remember
walk
that.
for the car to the house and for the house to the car. So we had to go out. So my mum would be like, "Paul, there's a Provy woman," and I'd have to like come out my room and
Chaperone her.
and chaperone her up to the door. The poor woman.
Amazing, man.
But she was fucking ripping people off left, right, and centre for commissions, man. See, when I look back now, and I've worked as a salesman, just like
No, what they're doing.
absolutely dirty bastard, man. Forging people's signatures on loans and all that
Fuck's
shit. man.
sake.
So see, when we're talking obviously earlier on about the short story format kind of lending itself to these kind of like oral history and whatnot, like one of the things I struggled with in my various failed attempts at writing was actually sounding authentic and like
Aye.
native to actually Glasgow, because we all naturally speak in certain ways, you know, depending on where we're from in the city and stuff like that as with everywhere else. But like translating that into like the actual written word for me, like honestly, was an absolute nightmare. I mean, I mean, that's a big part of where you're writing.
Aye.
How'd you get all that?
It just felt kind of natural to me when I first kind of started writing. I was trying to write in like proper English. I was trying to do all the dialogue and everything in proper English, but everything was set in Glasgow. And I was like, hold on a minute, that's not how we talk. So why am I writing it like that? So I'm writing it in like my second language almost. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what is my first language? Like the way I talk. So I changed it up and I started writing like that, and everything just started flowing a lot better. Everything seemed funnier. Everything, all the dialogue just felt better. And then I was like, this is the way to do it. So then it was just like with Scots language, there's no like standardised spelling. Like how you write it is right. It doesn't matter. Like if your interpretation of it is right, that's fine.
So you ever had anybody try and correct you online?
A couple of times.
That's not how you. That's not how you spell moan.
Aye, man. Aye. It's like guy had a go at me because there's a story in my new book called Hans, all about Hans, and I'd spelt it HAWNS. And he was like,
that's how I'd probably spell it.
And he's like, nah, that's not right. It's HAUNS. Oh, it's the same, mate. It's like looking at the two of them, mate. They both sound the same. Hans and Hans. Like, it's all right, mate. Chill out. No. All right, mate.
No. And revise that shit, please.
You get what we're talking about? Aye, let's move on.
Aye, man. But I just writing the way we talk, it just felt natural to me, man.
That's one thing that I definitely struggled with. I always found myself, and that information about Scots no being sort of standardised was something that completely escaped me, and I wish I'd actually known like
go back to it, mate.
15 years ago.
Everybody's got a book in them, mate. I say that to everybody, man. If I can do it, MD can do it. If you get half an idea, just get a go. It's the worst that can happen.
I actually found reading your book, it was very similar to Poverty Safari. Right. Not in the subject or the genre, but in how easy it was to read it.
Aye.
I liked that you were saying in an interview that people were coming to Waterstones and saying this is the first book I've picked up since school.
Aye.
I think a lot to do with that is bite-sized chunks. Like some of the short stories are like 2 pages, some of them are 5. But if you can give people like that sort of small, do you know what I mean? I think what used to stop me from reading was just paying attention.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? The idea of reading Lord of the Rings, I'd be like, no.
Like, no, man.
Yeah.
It's not holding my attention, but these wee short stories and introducing a different character every 4 pages or whatever almost lends itself to like working class people being able to engage with it.
Definitely, man. I think so. One of the things when I first started writing, what I was doing is I was writing stories and I was putting them online. I was putting them on this website called medium.com, and then I was like sharing that on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like, I've written a story, here's what it's about. If you want to read it, here it's here, and getting people on Twitter to read it. And what this website does is it gives you like stats. So like, here's how many people have like clicked the link, here's how many people have read the story, here's how many people have read it right till the very end. So I could see straight away like longer stories, maybe only like 30% of people were getting right to the end.
Okay.
So people would go, look how long it is, no chance, bolt. So then I was like, right, cool, so make it a wee bit shorter, and then maybe jump up to like 60% of people reading it right to the end. I'm like, right, how can I get more? Obviously need to make it more exciting, need to make it funnier. So try and put a wee hook in at the start, try and get people's attention, get a kind of punchline ending, and then that was working, know what I mean? So it was like seeing the kind of stats was helping me.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, I think it's just like online, everybody's brains are fried, like everybody's just like attention spans are short to bits. So that was when I kind of figured out my wee kind of like optimum length for story and it just kind of stuck with me, and then that's kind of worked with the books and that. So
see with the attention, because like a lot of your base started through the sort of like your Twitter feed and sharing your stories. Did you have any sort of, I mean, I know that when we first started doing this, I think the first thought that went through my head is pure, I don't know how I'm going to deal with somebody's just basically, mate, you're a prick. Do you know what I mean? I don't know how I'm going to deal with that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've never really put myself out there. Especially like when I was doing music, the internet was very minute. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you put it out there, MySpace was a big thing, and Bebo, but I've never really put myself out there and open to criticism. Do you know what I mean? Which is, if you're a writer, that is exactly what you're doing. Did you have any sort of like reservations or?
I did a wee bit. I thought at the start I'd wrote a few stories and I hadn't put them anywhere, I hadn't showed anybody. And then I thought, right, well, I want to be a writer. I want to do this for a living. I'm going to put my stuff out there.
Yeah.
Just getting all that first hurdle, letting people read your work, letting them see like how your brain works, and letting them see how fucking weird you are. And then it was like getting ready for like criticism and that as well, because I was like, I don't know, man, if somebody tells me it's shite, that's going to ruin my confidence, I'm never going to write again, kind of thing. But I just thought, no, fuck it, like, I'm just starting it, I'll get better. If somebody doesn't like it, cool, no bother, you like the next one. If you don't like that, you like the one after that. If you don't like that, you like the fucking one after that.
If you don't like that, why are you even full?
Aye, that's it.
And then, man, it's just, it's kind of weird, like you do get a bit of grief. But it's always people like, when I would put up a story, maybe 3 or 4 people would say, oh, that's brilliant, I loved it. And then you get some guy going, oh, get out his arse, stop sucking up his arse. No, fucking calm down, mate. Like,
do you engage with that?
Not really, I just patch it, like, just can't be asked for it.
No.
I can.
Is that something you've learned today or time? Is it at
I
the
think
start?
so,
maybe you
at
were
the start I
like,
used to be like, who's this cunt, like, who you talking to? And then now I'm just like, so fuck. Like,
he's probably
who
writing a
cares about
book.
me? Aye,
He's
maybe.
probably sitting with stories going, I don't want anybody to read this. You've got the confidence to put it out. Like, fuck him. How's he get the confidence to do
Aye,
that?
man, so
It's just pretty much like what a lot of sort of criticism, like
that's where it comes from.
critique and
Aye,
like
man.
Yeah.
professional critics are like generally failed
Aye.
at what you're doing, and
Aye.
that's why they like
I
to just
know.
sit and punch holes and everything.
I used to like pure religiously seek out like bad reviews when the first book came out. I was like, where's the fucking bad reviews, man? Let's see what people are saying
Aye.
about it. Because at that time, I wanted to read that and I wanted to see where I was going wrong. So for the next book, I could do better. And then, so I got like Faye, the kind of criticism that I got some stuff for it. I got some kind of constructive stuff for it. I
Right.
was like,
Yeah.
right, cool, I can take that on board. And then, but a lot of it is just, it's like kind of people looking down their nose at me because it's written in Scots.
Yeah.
Mm.
And they're like, oh, there's a review on Amazon somebody wrote, and it's like, oh, it's just a book for Neds.
Aye,
Just
well,
fucking, it's like classism. Basically,
Yeah.
it's
That's
not
it,
these people looking down their nose at me,
of course.
saying that I'm not the kind of guy that should be writing books.
It's
when-
disappointing because you're not an Ed.
know,
Clearly, you're not an Ed.
I
do you know what I mean?
know.
That's one of the things as well. Like I remember when we went to uni, there was a guy that went to my uni and he was from one of the villages like Carnoustie or something
Aye,
like
aye.
that. And when I met him and he was like, "Well, so where are you from?" And I was like, I'm from Glasgow. Whereabouts? And told him. He was like, "Where's that?" And told him next to Celtic Park in East End. It was almost like he went, oh,
looking down,
"Who the fuck are you? Why are you doing this
And,
at uni?"
and
Do you
see,
know
to
what
be honest
It's
with you, I
like,
mean,
fuck off, mate.
even if
I
it,
know.
even if it was, you know, literature for Neds, like, good. Who gives a fuck? Like,
I know.
you know, who's any? I mean, people play to audiences
Mhm.
in every walk of life all around the world every day. I mean, like, if you've got people who are enjoying your work and you enjoy doing your work, then
Aye,
who
I
the
know.
fuck cares if it's
That's
for
it, I know.
whoever?
I know.
You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
it's like somebody who's written, you know, you don't get that criticism if somebody's wrote a pure gay epic. You know, people are like, oh, it's so empowering and, you know, or, you know, trans or whatever that, you know, the hot topic that day is. But then there's this, as you say, sort of snobbery or classism about, oh, well, you wrote that for poor people. You know, well, hold on. Well, how is it any different to the people who write to any other audience anywhere else?
That's true, man.
If Welsh got that when he did Trainspotting, because I don't think
I know.
people when that came out thought this is a masterpiece,
I
more
know,
than like social
I know.
commentary. Look at this is amazing, rather than going, oh, that's just Neds. That's just a movie
Aye.
about Neds.
See,
When
yeah.
it's not, it's about working, like the realities of sort of working
That's it,
class
man,
life.
aye.
Do you know what
A
I mean?
guy who gets it in the next, James Kelman. So there was an article about him, and he's talked about his book. I think it was How Late It Was called. It was nominated for the Booker Prize,
Okay.
and it was all written in Scots. And like somebody worked out like how many times he said the word "fuck" in it, and it was like 4,000 times in this book. He said "fuck," and it was proper. It was about a guy who goes blind, and it's kind of a guy in proper abject poverty. And when that came out and it got nominated for the Booker Prize, it was just people tearing it apart, like all the kind of London critics. going,
Yeah.
I couldn't read that. Like, oh, it's a load of shite. And
Mm.
again, looking down the nose at it, it's, classism, snobbery. And it's like, well, this guy is clearly good. It's been nominated for
Yeah.
a Booker
Yeah.
Prize. Like,
I wonder
one of the
how
top
many
prize in literature.
people have existed that have done work along the same lines that have never been taken seriously because the critics in the
Aye.
industry
I know,
Yeah.
man.
don't get it.
Even
I
though
know,
their
man.
content's perfectly valid.
I know, man.
Pretty sure there's
That's
been
it.
quite a lot of people that have been
Aye,
sitting
man.
in council estates that
I
have
think
been
it's,
writing.
I've been on the
That's it,
opposite end of it, where, and it's weird, like when you see you talk about reading in dialects,
Mm.
reading in, you know, Scots or whatever it is. I had the opposite experience at uni where I was forced to read forced. It was one that it was in my curriculum or whatever.
Aye.
A book called The Fairy Queen, and it was an 800-page poem in Old English, and like, as you say, I get why somebody would have a reaction and go, this isn't in a completely foreign language and I don't get it. But at the same time, it's not really that far removed from the, standard language to be. I found that once I got the rhythm of it, I was fine. But then obviously once I was done with it, it had absolutely no relevance beyond the essay I had to write on it. You know what I mean? Like, but there is a rhythm to these sort of languages, and if you choose to actually, read it and get with it, you'll be fine. As
That's true, man.
Booker judges and whatever else will have been. But for somebody to just take one look at it and be like, nah, don't get it, and put it down, is
Aye,
like,
man.
no, that says more about you than it does about any text.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely,
Like,
aye. That's a good point.
So, apart from Rudy Vata abusing you on the football field, have you had any perks to like your social media? Because you're quite famous and on Twitter.
I suppose,
Do you get any? Have you ever targeted? Have you ever been like, oh, I'm just enjoying my McVitie's digestives today in the hope that McVitie sends you a case of digestives or whatever.
I was doing that with tenants. Anytime had a pint of tenants, I was putting it on Twitter and tagging tenants in it. And then eventually, like, I got an email for like the tenants kind of PR team.
Right.
And they were like, "Oh, we see you're like a fan. Can we, if you like retweet this tweet, we'll send you like a case of beer and all that." I'm fucking, aye, no bother. So I was doing that, no bother. And then it got to like, it was like the Edinburgh Fringe last year. Tenants were like, "Right, we're going to release this new beer, and it's like bottles of beer, but they've all got letters on them, and you can like spell out words for it and all that." But what it is, we want to go through to the Fringe and get tourists to like spell out Scottish words.
Right.
We want you to host it if you're up for it, because you're right out, kind of fits in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fucking, aye, obviously that'd be amazing, man. So we went through to Edinburgh and made this wee video. So it was like me going up to tourists, like, "Can you spell fucking Bahookie? Can you spell Heed the Ball?" and that? And it's fucking great fun, man. It's brilliant, man.
Aye.
Up the road with a couple of cases of tenants.
That's
Nice wee
brilliant,
video.
man.
It's class, man.
You should do better at that, man. You should just be making a wee list of all your favourite things.
Aye, man.
Favourite clothes.
Aye.
Try to target Levi's, maybe too big, but I'll definitely go in there with some sort
You're
of...
already about some Vans today.
I know, man. It's the same with Starbucks, man. I should get a fucking Starbucks endorsement in the back. I don't think enough people fucking watch this.
Yeah.
Like getting the hang. So, judgment of like the mainstream media, is it just a lot of people just talk about just ignoring it? Is that just what you're doing? Just fuck them?
That's it, mate.
Just keep going.
I've been kind of lucky with my books and that. They've been well covered in like the Scottish press, and they have like loads of journalists have tried to help me out, and they've kind of championed it. Do you know what I mean? The thing is, but it's just that it's a really hard sell outside Scotland. But and they just like, you can see like the sales figures like in like Glasgow, Edinburgh, Dundee, Aberdeen. You can see they're quite high, and then down England, it's like fuck all. Do you know what I mean? It's like a wee couple here and there. Maybe there's like a group of Scottish people working down expats, aye, and then. But I wonder how much of that is. Like, people just need to give it a go. Do you know what I mean?
I thought that about Jerry Cinnamon. I thought that guy's not going to do anything outside of Scotland because it's so very much Scottish. But then if you think back to Idlewild and even moments of Biffy Clyro, but it's not quite as Scottish
as
working
pronounced
class as what Jerry Cinnamon is, and I've been really surprised pleasantly that he's been received really, really well. That's what I was thinking, that maybe you had managed to break that as well. Do you know?
Hopefully one day, mate, I can. But for now, I'm quite happy just doing what I'm doing and just kind of existing in my wee bubble and writing about Glasgow and doing what I want. And
working well for you, mate. That's the main thing.
Mate,
how do you stay motivated? We spoke to a couple of people, especially like musicians. We've not had very many like authors. We've had one on the podcast before, but how do you, like, if I was to be left to my own devices, I suppose with this, it's with the podcast, I work quite hard on that when I'm by myself, but I struggle to motivate myself. I would just roll a joint. Fuck it, man. I'll just watch Joe Rogan for 5 hours and then the next minute, like, I've not done it in the day. Do you know what I mean?
Aye, man. So I've been writing full time now for about a year. And for the first kind of month, it was like that. It was like my first day of being like full time, like self-employed writer. I was like, sat down at my computer and then I was like, I could just go make a fry up. Don't know where to go. Went to make a fry up, watching Always Sunny. Next thing you know, it's like 1 o'clock. And I'm like, oh, it's lunchtime now, magic. Make my lunch, take a dog a walk. Then it's 5 o'clock. And then I'm like, fuck hell, man. Make my dinner, then I'm going to go to the pub. And I'm like, fuck, I've not done it in the day. Oh, well, do it tomorrow. Then do the same thing tomorrow. That's what it went on for about a month. And I was like, fuck, man.
I think I actually remember seeing a lot of tweets about when you discovered Sunny in Philadelphia recently.
Aye, mate.
So I wouldn't say it was time wasted. You know what I mean? Like, I'd say
that's class, mate. Aye.
Some time well spent.
But now it's like I've got my wee routine and I've got my structure to my day. And I've got like a word count that I hit every day. And then see if I don't hit it, I feel like a fucking failure, man. Do you know what I mean? So
right.
Like, if there's days where like I maybe set out, I'm like, right, I need to do 3,000-4,000 words. Like, I'll write through the night until I get to that. Do you know what I mean? Right. So it can be a case of me sitting at my desk, pulling my hair out for 9 in the morning till like 3 o'clock the next morning.
Right.
Pulling my hair out because I'm fucking stuck. Do you know what I mean? So then it's just like writing down notes, trying to fucking work through it. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I need to get to this.
Yeah, subscriber to write anything. Like, you hear a lot of comedians, especially, they'll say, look, I just sit and I'll just write my heart out and then I'll go back.
That's it, man.
Just sort of mindlessly.
That's it, man. That's it, man. Like, I'll have maybe like 4 or 5 days a week writing. And then I'll have maybe like 2 days a week, like a day off, kind of, where I'll spend maybe like 2 hours getting back or what I've written through the week. get through, like filtering through the shite and
Yeah.
kind of seeing what's good, what I can keep, and then just editing it and making everything better. So it's good.
So the editing process for me again was one of the things that I found that quite a big frustration in, because it is so, especially if you're, as you say, editing as you go, you know, taking breaks and whatnot, and there's no somebody separate taking care of that for you until maybe later in the process. Like, I always found it to be a process that made me go so inside myself that I just got lost a lot of the time. So that
I found that it's almost like you're so close to it that you can't make head or tail. You can't be like, is this good?
what's the saying?
Almost
You can't see the
that,
elephant or whatever.
I get that, man. With editing, but like once I submitted my first book to the publishers, they were like, right, Magic, we're going to publish it, but it needs a lot of work, so we're going to get you an editor who's going to work with you, who's going to make it better. I was like, brilliant, man. And the guy was like, right, like you, I like the stories, but you're clearly a very new writer. There's so many bad habits in here. There's so much shit we need to fix.
Yep.
I was like, right, cool, man. So he was like, he was really, really, really hard on me, but it was coming from a good place. Cause
Yeah.
you've got potential here. Like, I want to make you better. So we just like kind of rewrote the full first book, basically again, like rewrote all the stories. And at the end of it, he was like, look how much better that is compared to the first one. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
And then that wasn't him like holding my horn. That was him just saying, why have you done that? What could you do better there? Do you know what I mean? It wasn't him telling me black and white. So it was him kind of like
Coaching you
me
through
it, coaching me through it, man. Aye. So then when it came to writing the second book, I was like, right, man. I was like in his mindset, like, what does he want from me, like, for my stories? So then I started like editing as I went along. So when I submitted that manuscript and I gave it to him, it was worked for the same editor again. He was like, fucking yes, man, like, you've listened to me, like. And then we still had a lot of things to fix, but he's like, you could see the difference, and it's all for him.
Yeah.
Like, basically teaching me how to write.
Awesome,
you know what I
man.
mean? It's fucking brilliant.
Sounds like you're in terms of your writing process. Sounds like you're actually pretty flexible, because you've talked about obviously the feedback that you've had online, both negative and constructive. The influence that obviously your editors come in and had, and the impact that's had on obviously your later work and stuff like that. So I mean, like that's to me that's quite an impressive, because I think so much it comes for you when you're writing that it could be quite easy to put the blinkers on and just be like, no, here's what I want for my work. You know what I mean? Like, but I think having that flexibility is something that clearly works and has had a massively positive impact for you, man.
Definitely, man. I'm just open to. I just want to keep trying to get better. That's the thing that I want to keep. I want to be able to do this for a living for as long as I can. So I need to keep trying to get better. I need to strive to get better. So I'm really open-minded. Always, I want. Once they've been edited, I want them still to be my story.
Of
do you know what I
course.
mean? But I'm open to kind of.
Yeah.
Just I know I can do better, so if somebody tells me how to get better, I'm going to try and do it and see
Absolutely.
what I can do. So,
Nothing wrong with that at all.
You've done quite a bit of spoken word.
Aye.
Spoken word scene. Have you thought about stand-up comedy?
I tried stand-up comedy. It was like a year ago, like yesterday I think it was. I tried it. I done a show at the Glasgow Comedy Festival last year, so it was after the back of the book coming out. They were like, do you want to do a kind of thing? It's a comedy book, so you can do a kind of show about your book. You can do readings for it.
Limmy's done stuff like that.
Aye. So I was like, right, aye. I was like, fuck it, I'd love to do that. So like, it was in the Grosvenor Cinema. So like booked that out, and it was me just kind of like doing a stand-up routine based on writing the book and what the stories are about and get through them all, and then reading a couple of stories. But like, it's the reading out stories that I like doing. I don't really like stand-up, and I thought I was going to enjoy it. I was pure ready for it, and I don't know, I felt pure exposed up there on stage when I was just doing the stand-up bits. Whereas here I've got the book in front of me and I can read for it. And I'm walking about and I can read for this. I've got it there in front of me. It's like a shield.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can just hold it up and don't look at anything. I can get into it and I know what I'm going to say next, and I can rehearse it all now again.
Right.
But stand-up's, it's not for me.
I think stand-up comedy is one of the. It's almost like
It's
the toughest of the sort of arts in that sense, because a lot of these guys, you can almost sniff it out. People go up really rehearsed, really fucking rehearsed, but then you get the guys that are so comfortable that they can just go up with a sort of basic idea of where they're going to start, finish and end, and they've got their anchors, but they just let their routine sort of flow. I think it's definitely like one of the most exposing ways I try to get yourself out there. I wrote a couple of jokes and then was just like, I'm never going to do that. I am never getting up and standing in front of. I mean, even in the Grosvenor, it's a big venue, man. Like for your first stand up, these people starting like Yes Bar.
I know, man.
In front of Nibdy. Do you know what I mean?
I was lucky enough, but it was just felt like my family. I was sold out, but it was still my family and my pals.
Must have been fucking excellent.
It was a good night. I enjoyed it. But like, if I was to do that in front of a room full of strangers, I'd have died in malice, you know what I mean? Like,
I think there's something about being in the moment, like, that I can relate to with being in bands, is unless you've recorded it and go back and listen to it, you've got no way of really knowing how good it was, and how people will always tell you that was amazing, but you're almost like, but was it? I don't know. And unless you've recorded it, if you write a book, you can go back and read the book and go, no, actually it is good. Do you know what I mean? Can you remember like a moment where, when you were first writing, where you thought to yourself, I'm actually really fucking good at this? Because clearly you are. Do you know what I mean?
I think, I don't know, when, like, just before, like, the book deal just kind of came out of nowhere for the first book, and just before that, I was just thinking, like, I really want to do this for a living. I was thinking, right, I was like working out a kind of like 5-year plan. Like, I thought, right, it's not going to happen anytime soon, so here's what I want to do. And I'd planned to like write, send stuff out to magazines, and then like, try and apply for uni to do creative writing. And then once I graduated for uni, start sending stuff out to publishers, because then I would be ready. And then it just came like fucking out of the blue. Like, I sent a story to a magazine. They said, do you want to come to the launch party for the magazine and read out a story? I was like, fuck, I've never done that before, but why not? So I went, read it out. And then when I came off stage, the people that published the magazine were like, we want to publish books. Do you have enough stories to fill a book? I was like, fucking aye. I like, sent them out. And then next thing I know, I'm in Edinburgh, like signing the deal for it and all. I was like, fucking hell, this wasn't meant to happen so soon.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Your 5-year plan straight out the
window. Aye, man.
Aye.
Alright, fuck.
You still planning on going to uni? Because it's almost like, there's a lot of people do that after in STEAM get to a place, and, well, the people that would be starting uni will be like, you're where I want to be. What the fuck are you doing here? And it's almost like your own low self-esteem.
I know, man.
That puts you in that situation.
Last year, like, after my first book, Hings came out. That came out in like the June, and then I started college in the September. So I done like a creative writing course at City of Glasgow College, and then that was brilliant, man. Like, that broke my writing on leaps and bounds. So that was magic. And then after that, finished that in the summer there, and I was like, I kind of wish I'd applied for uni, because it got to like halfway through the course and everybody else was applying for uni, and I was like, I don't know if I want to. And then once I finished college, I was like, I fucking wish I'd went to uni, like that'd have been good. You know what I mean? Like, but maybe next year, mate. Maybe next year we'll see. So, I like the idea of going and doing it.
It's just the hours button, man. If it's almost like when I hear about people, and when I heard about people who be like, I'm going to do music production, I'm going to do music performance at college or uni, and you're kind of like, just go and play music. Like,
I know.
You're doing it. You're actually doing it, man. And the hours that you would need to be putting in every week to complete a degree, you could probably write another book.
I know, that's true, man. I know. It's a funny one. I don't know. Because I like the idea of going and learning. I feel like the lecturers next. So other lecturers that like, it'd be like Glasgow Uni, and I apply for fucking aye. So they're all like, they are all published writers. Like, so it'd be good to learn from them. Like, proper novelists who've been in the business for years.
If you're going to be in, it's as much as you think uni, it's about the tutorials and that, the lectures. It's more about the tutorials and the one-on-one time you would get with experienced published authors who are in different genres and formats and stuff like that. Like, I can't imagine there'll be too much trouble with the application.
See what happens, man.
Something that came up when I was looking in this sort of, I read a blog post on your Medium about your relationship with alcohol.
Aye.
I quite liked, I was saying to Matt before when we were off mic, this sort of idea of the 3-pint glow.
Aye.
Like this person that emerges
through
the sort of subconscious when you get like just enough alcohol before you start losing your bearings.
Aye.
It was a while ago that it was last year, wasn't it, that you had that post. Are you still in the same sort of place with?
Not really. I was writing that at a time where, like, I was gone in night suit and I felt I was just making an arse of myself almost. Do you know what I mean? So it was getting to the 3 pints and I felt like brilliant. I was having a laugh and I was making my pals laugh and I was having a good time. But then after that, I was becoming, I felt like, I don't know if it was on me, but I felt like I was becoming annoying. I was becoming too mad with it, too loud, just being a bit of an arse, being a bit of a bam. So I was waking up the next morning, like, feeling hungover and then feeling like a fucking idiot. Like, what did I say last night, man? Like, thinking about the cunts I was talking to and that. And I'm like, oh, man, I can't be doing this, man. See if I could just stick to 3 pints. That would be me, kind of thing. So I wrote that thing about that, like how, like, after 3 pints, that's like the best version of me. Do you know what I mean? I'm like relaxed. I'm like, don't feel anxious about it. I just feel fucking like in a good place, and I'm like having a laugh with my pals. I feel confident enough to make that joke or tell that story, and I'm telling it in a good way, and I'm just fucking all loose and lubricated with the bevy, mate. I feel brilliant. But then after that, it just goes tits up. You know what I mean? But the last few months or something, I've been, I don't know, I felt like I've got a healthier relationship with drink. I can go out and have a good time, and sometimes stop at 3 pints. Sometimes have more, but being aware of what I'm like, and
Of course,
you know what
aye.
I mean, and kind of thing. You don't need to be a prick. And just
Aye.
don't be a loud arsehole. Just
That's
calm
it,
down.
man.
Know what I mean?
Aye. I used to go nights out. Matt will testify to somebody. It would literally be like pedal to the floor. Literally, like the second that you step foot in the pub, it's like Jaeger bombs. Like
Aye.
this is the first thing that you want in Jack Daniels. Like everybody's having a Jägermeister or whatever.
Dude, I was sitting watching a band going one time downstairs in Barfly. We would be
Aye.
all night, and the lead singer went forward to like scream, and all I seen was this fist just come up and just hook the guy.
I had a bad
mate.
habit of doing that.
Class,
We did a gig in Manchester as well,
Aye.
and the guy was he wasn't trans, but he was cross dressing on stage,
Right.
and they were like a proper metal band, like
Right,
proper metal band, and we won that, and he was like, "Has anybody got any requests?" And I was like, "Play some fucking music," and the guy went, "Oh, I like you," and came down into the crowd and tried to give me a hug, and I punched him.
Fuck's sake.
And I was in the band next that was going on next.
Fucking
None
hell,
of
man.
these Manchester Mancunians must have been like, "Who the fuck is this?" And I'm not exactly like the
Jeez,
weest
mate.
guy in the world
Aye.
either. That's
You're not exactly violent either.
and I'm not at all.
Aye.
It's totally out of nature, man. It's just see when I get blazing drunk. I think by that time when
You're
we
a
went
different
to
guy,
the-
man. You're a different
definitely.
guy.
By that time we'd got to that stage in Manchester, I was 2 bottles of bucket deep, and I don't really remember it.
Caffeinated as well.
Oh,
mate.
fuck, aye.
Hyper, man.
Blazing and
Aye.
so I think that getting to that stage, I got there. I mean, I barely drink now, just because I'm 35, coming up for 36, and if I drink, not even the fashion I used to drink, but even in any sort of like 2 or 3 drinks, man, I pay for it. I
Aye.
just can't do it, man. And
I know.
it's just I get rattled with it, so I just
Aye, you get fed up with hangovers.
only in very special occasions, or if there's a night out and I think, do you know what, I'm going to have a drink, I'll have a drink.
Right, mate.
But I can remember a point at sort of 30 where I was like, I don't need to get fucking smashed when I'm
Aye.
going out on these nights out. Why am I going out and getting absolutely blotto
I know, man.
to the
Losing
point
a
where
day the next day as well.
losing
I know.
fucking 2 or 3 by the
I know,
time
man.
you hit
Aye.
that, man.
I know, man.
So it's nice to hear that you've got it under control. It's a
Aye,
I think that again, alcohol's something that comes hand in hand with well-being faith.
Definitely.
It's
aye.
expected.
We don't really talk about our relationship with the beverage, you know what I mean?
It's
Full
something
night,
that I've
aye.
struggled with recently, and
Aye.
that's obviously, you know, we've kind of touched on it in a few places where I'm aiming for that more healthy relationship, but it's definitely a work in progress, and it's
Definitely,
definitely
aye.
something that's come through that upbringing, essentially. You know, I've seen it around the house, and
Aye.
not to point fingers or anything like that, it's just been one of the things that you pick
Aye.
up, you know what I mean?
It's kind of ingrained into you, isn't it? It's like, aye.
Don't know if there'll
Part of
be...
becoming a man almost is
Aye.
you go and drink hundreds
Of
of pints.
course, aye.
It's
I
weird,
mean,
man.
I don't know if there'll be if there'll be anywhere else in the world that's got so many home bars.
Aye.
It's like the East End of Glasgow. Like my mum and dad had this, and this is like something that most people are like. It's almost the same thing. It's like this wooden cabinet in like the
Aye.
living room. You pulled it down. It had a decanter with whiskey in it, and
Amazing.
it was almost like they didn't drink it, but you needed to have it there. Do you know what I
In
mean?
case
Like,
anybody stopped in.
I know.
aye, that sort of. And then
The
you've
other end of
got
the spectrum, we also knew
temptation.
somebody who turned their garden shed into a literal bar.
Aye, we had
And,
some
like,
and
Ridley.
Aye, and Ridley. We had some fucking good nights in there. By the way, man, I've
Ridley's
got
class,
I've
man,
got
aye.
a photo of one of my mates, Scott, and it's literally like we tried to turn that into a meme, but it was before sort of memes were a thing, and it was a
Right.
house. It was a house measure. It's just a photo of him handing somebody a half pint of vodka. That's to get mixer put into it, and we put like that's house measure like at the bottom of it. Aye, we get in some fucking states in that place because our ma worked in the fruit market. So she would literally get cash and carry booze, and we would just go into the shed on a Saturday night and get fucked up.
That's
But
it,
the
isn't it?
sort of fags and booze culture that
Yeah.
existed when I was a wee boy, we were talking about this the other day again,
Mm-hmm.
we were like 60 a day, my mum and dad were just 65, chain smoking fags and then
Honest to all, man.
drinking and
Aye.
drinking, and it's just something that I think that we end up, and we're seeing the sort of tail end of it where we
Mm-hmm.
get to this age, and I think you either go into it, which a lot of people still do. You see that sort of Friday night living, like I'm just Monday to Friday, and then Friday night I'm getting fucked up, and I'm
Aye,
getting
man.
fucked up through until Monday morning, and then I'm going back to work.
I know, man.
Do you know what I mean?
I
And
know, it's quite
I
sad,
think there's a
isn't
lot of people that are just rejecting it
Aye.
as like this Disney service, man.
Aye. People kind of waking up to it and going, this isn't for me. Like,
A lot of
don't need
depression
this.
and mental
Aye.
health stuff. People,
Aye, man.
this is a big topic, and I think a lot of people are realising that booze, drugs, fags, gambling, all of these things all combine.
I know, man.
The amount of people
man.
that will go and get fucking steaming, coked out their mind, but also spend a couple of £100 on a football cooking.
Yeah.
Man.
Do you know what I mean?
Man.
I can't even imagine what it's like.
Man. I know, mate. It's horrible, man. One of the things I know I'm interested in is the reaction. Like when I go to the pub with my mates, occasionally, sometimes I'll just take the motor and I just won't drink. But I'll still sit and have a buzz, have a laugh.
Yeah.
Get fucking dog's abuse, you know what I mean? Till I give them a lift up the road.
Yeah.
Then they're glad, you know what I mean?
Best
It's
person
like,
in the
I know,
pub
man.
at the end of the night.
It's like constant, just take a pint. You can drive after a pint, you can drive after 2 pints. Why you fucking carry, mate? Like, it's dodgy, man.
20 years ago,
I know.
It is an interesting thing, man. It's the look in people's faces when they,
I know.
you'll say, oh, barely drink, don't
I
drink.
know.
They'll be like,
Doesn't
why?
affect you, mate. So what's the problem? What is the issue? You can still get mad with it. I don't care. I'm still going to
Aye.
sit here and have a laugh with you and talk to you. We're still going to have a good time. I'm just not drinking. Doesn't affect you. It's cool.
You ever went on a full
Sure.
on night out, been standing in a nightclub at like 2 in,
Aye.
with like a Diet Coke, and
It's
everybody
grim,
like
mate.
rampaging round about you? It's grim.
Rampaging.
It's fucking grim. And
It's grim.
I did it at the ABC one night, and it was just like, I'm getting home, man. It was just people coming up, alright, man. You're just
I
like,
hate it, mate. I know, man.
fucking hell, man.
I know, mate.
You don't even realise that you're thinking, I'm the worst one.
Aye.
There's a lot of
I
them.
know.
Like, I'm thinking this about my mates, and when I'm drunk, I know I'm the fucking worst at a lot of them
man.
doing this
I
stuff.
know,
Do
mate.
you know what I mean? So, like, did you find that Celtic Twitter helped you? I mean, obviously we've got the sort of Celtic does, and,
Aye.
but did you think was that a party, like your sort of success, the sort of
I think-
Celtic Twitter getting
I
behind
think
it?
so, aye. Because they would all share it, and then they would see that I was a Celtic fan, so other Celtic fans just pick up on that. Like, one of yours, let's just read it and share it and support them, kind of thing. And then I found that my stuff was getting shared on like CelticMinded.com and like Talk Celtic and all the kind of mad forums.
Yeah.
And that was quite handy, I know. But then the other side of that, I know, is like loads of. Like, I don't have like I'm not like seen as like a pure Celtic guy. Do you know what I mean?
No.
I do have
Right.
loads of Rangers supporters.
Of
man.
course.
Uh-huh.
It's weird that I even talk about this, like how it's weird that a certain team reads my books. You know what I mean? But
With the same thing with Gary Folds the other week.
Aye.
Where he's going, I'm a Rangers man, but my audience is completely all across everything.
That's it,
You know
man,
what I mean?
Aye, he's some boy.
You ever
Aye.
had anybody have a go at you for being a Celtic fan?
No, mate, not at all. Not at all. I've been
Oh,
quite
that's
lucky,
nice.
so quite lucky, mate.
I think when it's not a huge part of your work,
Aye.
it's easy to
That's it,
brush
mate,
off.
aye.
I think
know,
if they
man.
relate to you, they relate to you. I think it's like
That's it, man, aye.
a
I'm
bit of
not-
that.
not what I say about it. I'm not one winding up Rangers fans and fighting with them. I'm not being a bigot about it. I'm just having a buzz. I just happen to support Celtic. What's the issue?
How did you feel about Brendan?
I don't know, mate. I don't know.
You going all
My
that
first-
guy down in Paisley?
I know, man.
A bag of cats.
I don't know. My first reaction was, oh fuck. But then like, before that, I'd been thinking the team looked quite stale. I was like, maybe we need a wee change here. He doesn't really, I don't know, man. Doesn't really seem to be quite the same as what it was in that first
Yeah.
season. You know what I mean, it seems like the kind of, I don't know, maybe the end of the cycle kind of thing. I thought he was going to leave at the end of this season, but it was just a surprise. It was like check my phone one morning, Brendan Rodgers in top of Leicester. I was like, fuck man. Then I'm away working away. Check my phone again. Neil Lennon's the new Celtic manager.
Aye.
Fuck's get on.
Aye, moved quick, didn't it?
Did you see the boy that went in for surgery?
Aye, woke up.
And then Rodgers was the manager, Commit Lenny was the manager.
Back in time.
And I think he was actually getting brain surgery as well, man. I think the guy must have woke up and thought they've fucking done something wrong.
Aye.
with his surgery,
Back to 2012.
Guy.
Going through the thing. I mean,
It's mental.
other than we did a mini podcast on it because I was like fucking rat bastard. But
Aye.
in the sort of aftermath, of it, you're just like whatever, man. Did you see the photo of him the other day? That he was at the memorial service of the Leicester
Aye,
manager.
big smile.
Hi man, you're like, have a bit of fucking self-awareness,
No,
mate.
stop
He's
showing
pure
your teeth
stunning,
off,
like
I
pure.
Alright.
And
I've not seen it.
If you look into the picture, you say 99% of them have got like a straight face.
Aye,
as
a
you would.
solemn face.
But
aye.
he's at the
at
back
that.
beaming, man.
Like one of the pure mascot ones, you know, the minute silence mascot.
Aye.
Aye.
Kingsley
Brendan
sitting there.
Rodgers'
Aye.
teeth. He's like his fucking mascot.
I
Man.
know, man.
If you noticed, like something that I'm really interested in recently is this sort of working class tourism that exists
Aye.
where in a sort of internet. It's happened before, but in a sort of internet way, you get sort of middle upper class sort of kids almost that see this sort of like glamorized working classness as like
Aye.
good to be an ed or whatever, and they're cutting about. And I mean, if you go into like Urban Outfitters and see
Aye.
the poppers like the Adidas trackies and Kappa stuff like that, are you getting any of that with your book?
There's a wee bit, like, there's part of me thinks, like, you know, there's maybe going to come a point, you know, if I keep writing books, people are going to go, well, can he consider himself working class now? Do you know what I mean? If he's a full-time writer, if he's a fucking artist now, can he consider himself working class? Can he write about the working class? It's like, I worry about that, do you know what I mean? 'Cause I don't mind. That's my worst nightmare, people saying, oh, he's forgot his roots and all that. I'm never gonna, but people are just going to say that to me anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It just comes with the territory.
It's a pure
And
tired
then-
trope.
I know, man. And then it's like,
Champagne socialist.
aye,
That sort of thing.
aye, mate. And I do worry about that. People, I don't know, like a backlash if people say, I'm going to keep writing about Glasgow, I'm going to keep writing about the kind of people and the stories and that. And I don't know how people going to take to that in a couple of years' time or whatever. I don't know, but fuck 'em, mate.
I think there's precedent where that, you know, so long as I say, people are still engaging with the actual content itself.
That's it,
Like,
aye.
you know, I know guys like, it's obviously an example you'll probably get a lot of time is Irvin Welsh, given
Aye.
that he wrote in dialect and was a, you know, series of short stories. Obviously, there was a kind of overarching theme with some of his stuff, but similar format, and like he's maintained a great
true, man,
career,
aye. That's
and
true.
it's because the content is still
That's true,
engaging.
mate, aye, that's
You know what I
true,
mean?
man,
So I
aye.
think you'd be absolutely fine in the terms,
Hope
man.
so, mate. I hope so. I'm just a bit of a fucking pessimist. I just always think the worst. So I
Well,
I think there's again, that's another East End trait, isn't it?
that's a
Pro-
place.
I think that that's good to consider that though. Do you know what I
Aye.
mean? It's sort of,
Okay.
if you're mindful, if you're being mindful of that, and as long as you're no cutting about the park,
I know, mate.
doing some research. How do you do your research? Like, I went and I bought a White Lightning down at Greenfield
and
Park.
Adidas poppers.
Aye.
Aye. I bet
I know,
there'll be a few people that will probably do that. Will come to Glasgow and they'll be like, right, where's the park? I'm going to
I
go
know.
and have a bottle of bucky. Let's just sample the
Glamourise it.
culture.
I know.
What I mean? We're well past our hour, mate. I've got a couple other things that I was wanting to talk about, but we'll just...
You sure, mate? Fire away if you
No,
want. Yeah,
not
sure.
at all, man. Because one thing that I wanted to ask you was, what would be your ultimate Scottish culture square go?
Like, who would I want to take a square go?
No, like two people.
Two people who I'd
it's
like to see.
Street Fighter Glasgow, and it's got like, you need to pick two people who have a square go. Who do you think would be the best?
Oh,
I think James English tried it last week with Paul Ferris and Tommy Robinson, didn't
I would like to see that.
he? I would
It's
like
not
to see that.
Paul Ferris would just kill him.
As long as you could get Paul Ferris back in the day, man, I think he's maybe beyond a square goal.
I don't know,
with
I think he
Tommy
could,
Boy.
like-
I don't know. I wouldn't put
Probably
nothing
could.
a bet
Aye.
against him.
Tommy Robinson, but you
I
can't
know,
fight.
man.
You can't fight. You just looking at him, you can tell he
Colts,
can't fight.
aye, definitely. A couple of videos of him out there throwing a couple of shite punches at people. Other than that, but
My favourite Scottish culture square go. Probably take it politics, and I would go Mary Black versus Ruth Davidson. I think that would be a good fight, mate.
that's a belter.
That is a good one,
That'd be a
actually.
good
aye.
fight, mate.
Well, where would the venue be?
Hydro, mate.
The Hydro. I think the second time the SNP supporters fill it.
Aye, man. Aye. So, I would need to think up special moves and all sorts here. Ruth Davidson, but like fucking Yokozuna, do the big fucking just sit on her, just no let her up, man. But cheers for coming on, mate.
Oh, cheers
Thoroughly
for this,
enjoyed
man.
it.
That was good fun.
Thoroughly enjoyed the
Aye,
chat, man. It's
really
been
appreciate
pleasure,
it.
Man, that was
Covered
good.
quite a lot, man.
Cheers, boys.
Again, like a shout out to On the Ball. Like, just
Aye.
want to give them a massive shout out. Like, I think we had FAC, the football. Is it FAC?
Fans Against
Against
Criminalisation.
Fans
Aye.
Against Criminalisation on, and
Aye.
that guy's really like that. I didn't know that the On the Ball campaign had come out meeting through them.
Yeah.
That's right, aye.
And it's got me sort of like really interested in sort of grassroots activism and stuff
Aye.
like that. So I just want to give another shout out and like congratulations
Aye,
on
legends.
was it Early Galaxy you said?
Yeah, like
That's
Alex's.
fucking
I know,
huge,
man.
man.
I
That's
know, mate.
mammoth, isn't
I
it? You
know,
think
mate.
about
Aye.
I know.
The
Rangers
St.
are on,
Rochs.
aye.
I think that it's 76 now.
St. Roch's to LA Galaxy, man,
That's
making
mad,
an
I know.
impact. So,
They're not stopping anytime soon either.
but again, mate, thanks very much for coming in. I
Oh, cheers,
appreciate
boys.
you coming
Thanks a
in, man.
million. That was good fun.
And
Best
good
of luck.
luck, man. Aye, good luck
Cheers,
with the
boys.
future,
Same
buddy.
news. Same news. Cheers, man.
Ta.